Serge Dedina is a far-left mayor of Imperial Beach. He wants to condemn and remove the properties all along the beach for hundreds of feet under the pretext that it is necessary because the oceans are rising. In truth, Dedina is an avid surfer and wants more pristine beaches for his own surfing pleasure at enormous expense to property owners and taxpayers. In order to obtain a solid voting bloc to carry out his plans, he's having one of his employees and political cronies run for city council. Paloma Aguirre is also a far-left radical. Because she works for Dedina, there is a serious conflict of interest. A few of the citizens of IB are opposing these underhanded political moves at the city council meeting.
I'd love, because we have a full agenda of lots of public discussion, I'd love to have these for 2 minutes so we can get through this.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. We can start talking now if you like.
We
Right.
can start talking right now.
No, that's wrong.
Right now,
We have a right to speak. So this is not right. We are the people. We are the people. We run the city,
2 minutes?
not you.
Read it. We're so disgusted with this. I'm more than prepared to address you right now. You have failed us, Mayor Dedina.
Yes.
You have failed us.
That's right.
Jesus. This is ridiculous.
Hey, sir.
You're out of order.
No, no, you will listen.
Wow.
You will listen to us. This is ridiculous.
That's right. You're right.
We got your back.
We need to get public comment. Speaker says, donate time to get elected. Let's do it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Quinn, Elm Avenue resident. Again, I'm a registered Democrat, but what I want to speak about today is how our politics as a city has changed. And it's not about Republican or Democrat, it's about Serge Dedina. Serge Dedina, I blame you for all of this because you were the first one to bring $153,000 of outside money into our city and change the dynamics of our politics forever. You brought interest from the hotel and restaurant unions, yet it's a coincidence that all of our seacoast is full of hotels and restaurants now. You started by obviously suing the taxpayers and the Army Corps of Engineers to get your nonprofit Wild Coast. Then you run for mayor, you bring in $153,000 of outside money, and then you do the sanctuary city thing, which was a huge conflict. You posted neighbor against neighbor, citizens against citizen, and you brought that national conflict to our city. And now with Paloma Aguirre, an insider, which I feel is a yes stooge for you guys, you, Mark West, that's going to give you the controlling vote if she gets elected into this thing. And the bottom line is here, you know, you pay her $100-some-thousand a year. She says between 10 and 100,000, but it's closer to 100. To be your employee at Wild Coast, how is she ever going to have an independent vote in this council? She's not. If she goes against you, she has the risk of losing her job. That's the bottom line, and she's not ever going to do that. So the fact that you're having her run, and I got a question for you. Did Wild Coast pay for her internship up at with Cory Booker? I know you can't answer, so it's just rhetorical. So anyway, my point is that you have decided, in the 4 years that you've been mayor, you have divided the city. I've never seen so much conflict in the city, never. And it never was here before you became mayor. You brought all this here. You did, Serge. You brought all these national politics to our city. We said we wouldn't have them here, but you have brought every issue that you brought up. Now, Paloma Aguirre, who is your employee, who you're running as your yes vote, she basically wants us to respect and acknowledge her candidacy for city council, but yet she sends out texts to everybody. I don't know how she got all of our phone numbers to do it, first of all. She got it from T-Mobile. She sends out a text saying that we are living in a time with the highest office of the land is occupied by a sexual predator and illegitimate elected official. Ramming down our throats, SCOTUS nominee was assaulted by a woman. This is the kind of things that you're trying to get elected to our council. She's already dividing us. She's bringing conflict. She's bringing the social democratic agenda to Imperial Beach. You're turning us into another Portland. This is ridiculous. Whatever. Excuse me. Let me have some respect. Let me have some respect. So I would like also.
You have 5 seconds.
All right. I would like everybody at home to know what this woman, Paloma Aguirre, is doing. This is what this is. Right here.
Paloma!
The Wild Coast and you, from the district attorney and the state attorney's office, for the funds.
Make America America again.
$1.5 million from $3 million that you raised from Wild Coast to your other nonprofit that your wife runs across the other side of the border. That's half the money, which is not regulated. You have a lot of issues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The war is on.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Eric Tomlinson, and I am an ID resident. I would like to make a statement for the record. Mr. Mayor, I met you in 2016, and I thought you were different. You listened to the concerned citizens of Imperial Beach when you rescinded your disastrous open city proclamation, and for that, I do thank you. But now I received multiple texts from you and Paloma Aguirre to vote for candidate Aguirre. And I came here to tell you tonight, well, number one, I don't know how you got my phone number, but I came to tell you tonight that my answer is no. I don't think it's fair to all the other candidates that are running, each and every one of them. With that kind of, you guys get cell phone numbers, text everybody. Also your conflict of interest with Wild Coast. The photograph of candidate Aguirre holding an F Trump sign at a far left socialist progressive extremist protest advocating the overthrow of a duly elected president. This conduct is unbecoming of the leader that wants to lead our small town. I've researched candidate Aguirre, and I also seen a picture of another individual holding a Make America Mexico Again sign on her social media. Candidate Aguirre has tried to give an impression that she is bipartisan and moderate. However, all of this overwhelming evidence shows us she's anything but that. I think it's accurate to say that most of my friends and family neighbors are all moderates, and not one of them is a far less socialist progressive. So candidate Aguirre does not represent the silent majority of our community. Yet my neighbors and I are concerned that injecting this kind of outsider progressive socialist politics into our quiet little town has caused division, disrupted the peace, and has raised legitimate safety concerns to all who disagree with open borders, sanctuary cities, and other far less progressive socialist policies and their movement. Thank you.
Yeah.
Before I begin, I'd like to respectfully ask for my 3 minutes, and I'd like to ask you that you don't cut me off and you don't interrupt me and you don't rush me for my time, okay? I appreciate that. Since 2015, when Serge Dedina took office, he stated that he was to be the mayor of transparency to the voters of Imperial Beach. Over the years, I've noted numerous denials of his conflicts of interest with the San Diego Foundation, his Wild Coast Group, and Salve Coste, the Mexican arm of his nonprofit. The lack of transparency with ID residents not knowing about the relationships with the Council of American Islamic Relations, CAR, San Diego City politicians Tony Atkins, Todd Gloria, Congressman Juan Vargas, and national public figures like Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey. Certainly these are a lot of outside power hitters for our small little beach town of 4 square miles and 28,000 people. This outside political influence has affected our quality of life. It all started in 2014 when $150,000 of union money was given to Serge Dedina and Ed Spriggs by a New York-based hotel union. Last year, our own federal government was sued by the city of IB at a staggering cost of $150,000. Today, it continues with another lawsuit by a millionaire lawyer from Malibu, threatening to sue our unchartered city for failure to realign the districts for fair representation. I question the integrity and judgment of Serge Dedina, our mayor and representative on the city council. I am disappointed with his lack of transparency with his marijuana industry friends and those outside politicians who continue to donate to his campaign and his nonprofit Wild Coast Environmental Group. So, what have we achieved since Serge Dedina has become mayor? How much time and resources have been used? How much money have we paid out as liability? It's a lot. Look, we all want clean water. That's obvious. My question to this city council is, why does Serge Dedina want a stacked deck of yes votes? Is it to advance rent control policies that negatively affect homeowners and private property advocates?
Rent control.
Imperial Beach was one of the first sites in San Diego County to build affordable housing under the Habitat for Humanity project. There is no more room, and the general plan calls for more density, which involves parking and traffic issues. This ultimately is a huge concern for our quality of life. With Serge Dedina publicly endorsing Paloma Aguirre for city council, questions arise again, and the community needs to know. I am publicly endorsing local homeowners and longtime residents who understand what is at stake for our beloved little beach town. Valerie Racivas for mayor. She leads the Imperial Beach Chamber of Commerce and has worked tirelessly for the best interests of Imperial Beach. She is a homeowner, Navy wife, devoted mom and grandmother, and a small business owner selling manufactured homes. Dane Crosby, a lifetime local, not a politician. He is a small business owner. Darnisha Hunter, a homeowner, resident of Imperial Beach for over 2 years. It's time for new leadership and a brighter future for our beach town. Our quality of life depends on it.
Hey, hey.
All right. Yeah. All right.
So we're going to start this. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm not one to hold my tongue, so here we go. First, to the people of Imperial Beach, let's not take this group seriously. I've been dealing with the likes of Roger Ogden for a couple of years now. His hatred and bigotry, they're definitely in the minority.
What do I have to do with this? I'm just taking video.
All right. Please, read between their lines, his lines. They aren't talking about policy. There are personal attacks on the poor, on minorities, on those that are trying to capture a bit of livable life. You would think that this group of patriots would be proud of someone like Paloma that came here the right way and has worked really hard to get where she is at. Let's be real. There is some ugliness in IB, and it's okay to recognize that, to talk about that. Paloma is a fluent Spanish Mexican American, but as American as they come, and has shown resilience in working with officials on both sides of the border. And for the first time in this long dreaded history, we are finally doing something about our water. Y'all be acting like it's easy to work with TJ officials. I love to imagine IB for all. An IB that encourages equity and fairness, empathy and collaboration. Serge, Mark, Ed, y'all know that I'm someone that doesn't hold back my tongue on corruption, and I hope you address some of the issues that have been raised. But I thank you for forging an IB for all. I thank you for trying to do that. I think conversations, sincere community conversations must happen. But I think we're moving forward, and I think that's the important part. I think we need to be resilient now more than ever, especially in the times we're living today. Thank you very much.